West Indies, here we go.
So, holders. Look at the background. West Indies are the holders. So that gives you reason number one. Reason number two. Universe boss. Universe boss. He's 42 now. If you look at pretty much any batting stats for T20, he's going to be number one. It doesn't matter where you're looking. Sixes, fastest to this, fastest to that. He's going to be number one. I haven't even looked them up, but I know that he will be number one. He's probably, I suspect it might be his last one. Who knows? He might go for another one next year. It's definitely going to be Dwayne Bravo's last one. He said that. He's hanging up his gloves, so it's going to be a swan song for him. There's just experience throughout, basically. You've got Karen Pollard, you've got Andre Russell. They're just doing incredible stuff, like in the IPL, and they've got great experience. Just all-round people, all-round players. You've got Evan Lewis, who's getting a bit of experience in the IPL, and he did really well in the CPL. So he's going to come out the blocks blazing. They've got Roston Chase. Roston Chase has an incredible CPL, if anybody saw that. He got number one in the... No, he did. I don't know why you're laughing.
No, it's when you were like, if anybody saw it, as if like no one would have seen it because it's not important.
No, he did. He got incredible, and he's been called up. He's never played for West Indies in this T20, for the T20s. So there's a lot of strength and depth, you would say. They're so strong, Jason Holder doesn't even get into the squad. He's in the reserves. So I don't know. There's a lot there. I think if you're looking at the pitches in the UAE and Oman, they're going to be slow. They're going to be good for. They're going to be. Shall we say, West Indies have a quite well-rounded attack, so you can have some slow, middling stuff from Russell, and from Pollard can throw one or two. You've got some pace in there. They've got O'Shane Thomas. You've got the slow left arm of Fabian Allen. You've got Hayden Walsh Jr., who I know is a big friend of the show, and he arguably is the missing, what they were missing, Windies, in terms of that wrist spinner. So there's a lot to like. Yeah, and you've even got Ravi Rampal. He's got called back up. He hasn't played in years for West Indies, for the T20 team.
He's got grey hairs.
Grey
hairs, doesn't he?
Grey hairs. He looks older, but he's going to bring it all back. And I think, don't count them out. They're a bit, they can be a bit mercurial, but they've got a lot of game changers, game winners, match winners. They've got big hitters. They've got it all. There you go.
I'll go first. West Indies are a really exciting side. I mean, they've got hitters pretty much down until like 9-10, to be honest with you. I mean, they've got that explosive. My one question to you, actually, I'll just ask you one, is do you think they might be a bit too one-paced? They don't really. I mean, T20 cricket, they sometimes say you don't really need an anchor. You don't need someone to bat around. But with West Indies, there's a little bit of a tendency for them to collapse potentially. Or do you think actually, T20s, you don't need one, they'll be fine?
I think there might be, but I think what you can see is that they're the kind of team, because they bat so deep, that they just need a couple players to hit. So, people like Pooran, have had a bad. I don't even know if he'll get in the team, actually, to be honest. I know he's a vice captain. But they've got so many players. I wouldn't be too concerned. Somebody's going to come good, is how I would put it.
That's true. What about you guys? Go on, Ali. Ali's ready. He's like, yeah, go on.
I was actually going to follow up on that question. The two times West Indies have won the World T20, in the final they've had Marlon Samuels, who's played the anchor role. Would you miss him specifically, or is there another guy you can rely on to do what he did in those two games?
I have a feeling, yeah, There's a Rinel saying Hepmeyer, Chase, Pooran. I think someone like Hepmeyer can possibly do that. He could step up. He's not just a hitter. He can anchor the team. And arguably Roston Chase, that's why he's been called up. Because he can play a bit different.
Nice.
But it's a good question. But I think they can do it, man.
No, I think they've got a decent chance as well, actually, to be fair. Does anyone else have any other questions? Otherwise, I'll go. The second question I had actually was, were you surprised that Jason Hodder was in the reserves? And do you see him being in the main squad / actually playing games in T20? Because if I was to pick my West Indies side, he'd be in my side.
I would put him there because he's dependable.
Hmm.
He's someone who will dig you out of a hole, and he seems to be a very good influence just in the squad, in the room. Obviously, they've kind of decided that they've got so many all-rounders, and they want somebody a bit, so they've decided they want maybe, I guess it'd be like Roston Chase rather than him, so someone who can do a bit of spin, whereas Holder's sort of, fast medium is maybe not going to be he's not going to get into the team, is what they're thinking. And he hasn't been, even in the IPL, he only gets in now and then, doesn't get in that frequently these days. So I can see why he's not got in, but personally, I would have put him in there.
Any other final questions? No. Otherwise, I think we've got. Let's see. Do we have any other comments here? Reno saying that one thing I dislike, honestly, is Darren Bravo is the reserve. Darren Bravo, been around a long time. Mohammed Snain says it seems he loses cool when he is being hit for runs. Chase plays really well and plays some lovely, classy shots. And Reno says Shafane Rutherford can't even get in there either, to be fair. Yeah, he's a good player. Very good young player as well. Cool. Let's move on to... Wait, are we talking about West Indies? Yes, we were talking about West Indies. But that's over now. So unless